On a summer evening in 2023, YouTuber Her Two Wheels rides her Royal Enfield Himalayan into a remote, first-come, first-served campground. She has 0 cell service and 0 facilities. It is just her and the bike against the wilderness.
No freaking way. They paved this? Oh, this is luxurious. This used to be all a gravel downhill grade. Okay, it turns to gravel up here. Dude, that is really nice. That is really, really nice. This ain't bad. It's always awful when they just lay down fresh gravel through here and it's so deep and the whole bike just wants to go crazy. Well, let's hope we can find a good camping spot. This place is first come, first serve.
She sets up a professional grade tent and lights a single Duraflame log. The menu is high-end, a ribeye steak and shrimp sizzle over an open fire. It looks like the perfect solo escape.
Apparently, all you're supposed to do is light the paper and the log lights with it. I think it's lit. Okay, okay, we're doing good. Well, of course, for dinner tonight, I'm making a ribeye. Brought some sea salt with me. This is gonna be good. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There is nothing like cooking a ribeye over an open fire. Listen to that sizzle. Even though ribeye is probably a fairly sufficient dinner for a woman of my stature, we're not just having ribeye tonight. Let's throw the shrimps on the barbie. Barbie? I'm not Australian, I can't say it. Shrimp and a bobby? Shrimp on a bobby. Shrimps on the campfire.
But as the sun begins to set, the night takes a dark turn. A sudden, blinding migraine hits her. Nausea follows. She realizes that without a signal, there is nobody to call if she collapses.
Out of the blue, I developed an insane migraine. I'm incredibly nauseous, and I was feeling that way before eating tonight. And I thought eating dinner would help, so it didn't, and I feel really awful. I feel really awful to the point where I don't have cell service in this area, and if I get worse, there's nobody I can call that's gonna help me. So I think I'm gonna make the wise decision to, I don't feel good. I'm gonna pack up camp and head home.
She makes the executive decision to flee. While packing her gear in the fading light, she freezes. A massive bobcat stalks past her sight, its size silhouetted against the trees.
On with me. It does not feel good. I am not looking forward to the fact that I have to ride home on these dark, twisty country roads. And what's even more nerve-wracking is there is a bobcat running around here right now. I've never seen that before. Check this out. I cannot believe that. Look at how freaking big that thing is. That's scary. Well, have fun on your adventure. I really like your bike, man. It looks great.
Thank you.
I really did not want to do this. Something about it just told me that I was like, you need to get out of here, man. You're not feeling well. You should probably just go ahead and go home. This sucks. I am so glad that I'm, close enough to home. I have an hour-and-a-half ride, but we're gonna make it. Now, the only thing I can't figure out is why my cluster is like, this is so bright. Why is that so bright? I can't see anything. I don't know if there's a way for me to turn it down or what. All right, well, I'm really not feeling good, and I'm gonna have to focus on the road, so time to shut the camera off. All right, well, it is actually the next day. I will let you guys know I'm feeling a lot better. Kenny hooked me up with some medicine right before I left the campground, and that did.
She rides home through the pitch-black country roads, blinded by a motorcycle GPS cluster that thinks it's still daytime in India. She eventually reaches safety, exhausted and shaken. YouTuber Wild Bliss Bunny finds a hidden ring of ancient redwood trees tucked right off a busy urban road. A white rabbit crosses her path, making the spot feel like a fairy tale. She begins setting up her first trekking pole tent as the sun dips below the horizon.
A little bit of time, but let's hope they leave soon. I think I see them leaving now, actually. If that's them, they came out, so we're good to go. Let's go get our spot. All right, guys, we got lucky. That was indeed them. They left. Here's the picnic table, and as you can see, we are now in this expansive ring of redwood trees that is in the middle.
The fairy tale quickly starts to splinter. Her microphone receiver snaps off, and the silence of the woods feels suddenly heavy. She fumbles with stakes and nylon in the fading light.
43 degrees, so that's like 4 or 5 degrees warmer, and I've got a little bit of a setup that I'm tweaking some things with the gear that I have, so we'll see. I have a feeling I should be all right with 4 or 5 degrees warmer and the tweaks that I'm making. Well, I'm pretty sad to say, but the white rabbit has failed us a little bit because my camera got knocked over, and this is the receiver to my microphone, and it just bent out, and I don't even know where the other part is. See this little part? There's actually a metal thing, which is what clips in, and it's gone. I had it, but I tried to put it over and it was broken anyway, so I don't know how the audio is going to be on this video, but the show must go on, so we're going to continue on. I'm not going to have a microphone, unfortunately, so here's the metal part that goes over this and plugs in. So my whole tripod just fell over, and then this part busted right here. So it's done for. Darn, that's a bummer, but it happened. So I'm just gonna carry on, and the audio won't be as good.
She finally crawls into the cramped one-person tent. Outside, the world is pitch black. Every rustle of leaves sounds like a warning.
I gotta finesse the staking, and there's actually not enough stakes, so luckily I brought a few more that don't go with this tent. I guess I just had a feeling and was right, but this back here is too taut, so I'm moving it forward a bit, and I think this one as well, too taut. Oh, this one's not even. That's the under one, so we gotta put that under. Maybe I'll just leave that while I get this together. Yeah, this is, oops, oopsie daisy. Wow, I'm really glad I brought these extra stakes. I only have 4 of them, hopefully that's enough. This could actually go around this tree if it was longer, but I don't think it's long enough. I don't know if I need it. All right, it looks like it's up. I may need to go around and finesse the things. This one. This one could almost go on the same one. Yeah, that works. Maybe that's why you don't need as many, because a lot of them could go on the same one. I think I'm gonna put it on a longer one. The ones I brought are longer. Let's go in and see what it's like. It sure is tiny.
A shadow begins to circle her campsite. A man on a bicycle is riding loops around the trees, watching the flickering light of her tent. He leaves, then returns, lingering in the darkness.
It's cool because these open up and can make it quite a bit more spacious in here. So long as there could be bugs down here, because there is the tent and then there is the ground and the leaves and stuff, but it does make it feel a lot more spacious to have this part out here, like the awning area, and then be able to open this and make it bigger if you want to. But this is like the bug screening, so it might be mosquito time. Are there mosquitoes out right now? It's winter. Should I close this? I don't know. Hey guys, I gotta abandon camp. I'm here in my tent. I was about to get my bedding situated, but some dude, so there was this guy on the bike and he kept like doing circles around, and then he sat at the bench that I showed you earlier, the table, and then he like went and sat by a tree, and I was like, what is going on? And then I thought he left.
A voice cuts through the nylon walls. The man has approached her tent on foot, standing just inches away in the dark. He doesn't ask for help. He simply whispers, "Knock, knock."
And I did a little bit of filming when I was in there just in case. I didn't make up my mind yet if I was gonna leave or if I was gonna stay, but I was leaning towards leaving. But I didn't say anything yet because I wasn't sure. And so I was contemplating getting all my bedding and stuff ready, but then I was like, you know what? If I'm just gonna have to pack it all up, I don't think I'm gonna do that. So I opened my tent and I was about to get out to go assess if that dude was still around. And then he comes up, not all the way to the tent. Like, I don't know what he looks like, to be honest with you. I didn't get a good view of his face because it was so dark out, but he said, "Knock, knock." And I was like, "Knock, knock? Why are you knock knocking me? Like, I'm a female alone in the woods."
Adrenaline takes over. She doesn't hesitate, ripping her stakes from the ground and fleeing back to her car. She knows the urban woods are no place for a woman alone tonight.
Like, I wasn't being very friendly, to be honest with you, because I didn't want to invite him in. You know, I don't know who that dude is. He's in the dark saying knock knock to me. I don't think so. So I wasn't friendly. It wasn't because I didn't like him or anything. It was just like self-preservation. Dude, go the F away. What the hell are you doing up in my space? I don't want you here. If it was daylight, it would be a totally different vibe, okay? But it was night. And so he was like, "All right, sorry for bothering you." And then I zipped down my tent. I didn't even go outside. I was like, he is still there roaming around. Not even roaming around. He's still there in the vicinity. And then I was just like, oh, hell no, I'm packing up. I got to get out of here. So I know a lot of you guys worry because I get comments, lots of comments about people. Why are you doing this? What about your safety? And dude, I totally get it. Stuff like this happens. But me in particular, I have a lot of street smarts. I've been through a lot. I've put myself...
Solo traveler Alyssa Vanilla is parked in the scorched Arizona desert. It's 100 degrees, and she's tucked under the only tree for miles, trying to survive the heat.
Outside, but it is really hot. Again, if this tree was not here, I wouldn't be... I mean, I also need to charge my solar. That's one positive of being out here. But it does seem really hot, and I don't know if I can take even hotter than this. 10 degrees hotter, 106 degree temperature. Anyway, I guess I'll enjoy the desert for another night. okay. Are you a ranger or?
No, I just live close.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of come out and check, make sure, because I know there's a lot of people that come out here that don't have a lot.
I'm fine right now. I don't know if I'll stay here, but I just wanted to check it out and see. It's pretty hot though.
Do you do this, like, is this what you do for a living? Do you, like, travel around or what?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah?
Yep.
So
Gotta
how
wait.
long have you been doing this for?
I've been in the van for like almost a year, last November, so getting close. But I was traveling out in my car since 2020, so it's been a while.
So you've been a nomad for a while.
Yeah. Yes, I'm used to it.
And you're enjoying it, I suppose.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, well, just so you know, so you're not worried.
A man named John pulls up on an ATV. He claims to be a local who checks on nomads to ensure they have enough water. But his energy feels off from the start.
That's all I'm doing.
All right.
Nothing spooky.
Okay. Well.
I had shit stolen from my house 2 years ago. So 2 years ago I started doing that. I started making myself open to people that were out here, giving them my name so they knew who I was, so that they saw my face, and you know what? It's worked for me. Nobody steals shit from my house anymore.
And what is your name?
Johnny. If you need water, I have a hose outside that runs all the time. You're willing to stop there, fill your water jugs, whatever you need. And those that I get to know well enough that I trust, they're welcome to actually come in and use the shower a couple times a week. I'm not home. My wife is. My children are. So if you need a shower, you're welcome to, come by. Probably would work better since you're a female. It would probably work better if you came by while I was there a couple of times, just so my wife gets to know you, so she doesn't think there's something stupid going on.
Right.
But if you need a shower or something, that's not a problem. But if you wanna stop by, it's not a problem.
Okay. Well, thank you.
All right.
All right.
I'll let you have your evening.
All right. Enjoy your rounds.
The conversation turns uncomfortable. John begins over-explaining a story about his house being robbed, and then invites Alyssa to his home to use his shower.
Hey.
Hi.
So, you have a guy on the mountain up there that is watching you with binoculars.
Okay, well, that's unnerving. Well, I guess I won't be staying.
Well, it's not that you can't stay. Just, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
The other side of the mountain is safer.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
He's driving a older Dodge pickup. And he told me he comes out here and offers water to people. But I would stay away from him. He told me he parks up there and looks around to see who might need water, who might need this, who might need that. And I was like, I turned and looked and went, well, her fucking camper is right in the open.
Yeah. So did you catch him watching me, or did he just tell you that he was watching me?
When I pulled up, he had his field glasses up looking this direction, and I was like, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just looking to see if there's anybody that needs water. So anyway, he's you see that white truck underneath the tree?
I'm right in the tree view, so.
All right, come out here and I'll show you. Just so you know.
Yeah, it's also just odd that there's not really.
John leaves, only to reappear minutes later with a chilling warning. He tells Alyssa there is a man in a white truck parked on the ridge, watching her every move through binoculars.
Someone who's young, by themselves, living in a vehicle out in the middle of nowhere by themselves. So I just went with my instinct and I was gonna leave because he said that he drives around seeing if anyone needs water, but he had no water with him. He was on an ATV, so that was weird. And then something else that gets me with people is over-explaining. So when I, asked him if he was a ranger and he said no, he said he does this because a few years ago someone stole stuff from his house, which has nothing to do with giving people water in the desert. So it's just weird he went on the story about, oh, like somebody has stole from me before, so okay. And I decided, I was going to do my laundry and then leave. And I was finishing my laundry and he came back. I saw his ATV turn towards me and he tells me that someone has been watching me. It was just weird because he said that the person who was watching me claims that they give people water who need it. That's exactly what he just told me that he did. He was just being very suspicious. And they were really, like, he would tell me something and stare at me and then take really long pauses and just stare at me. And then eventually, like, I was doing my laundry and he was just sitting there on his ATV staring at me. Like, parked right in front of my van. And I said, "Do you need something?" And he said,
Alyssa's gut screams. She notices John has no water on his ATV despite his claims, and he begins staring at her with long predatory pauses. That's when it happened.
Shit in my van. I got my solar panels, my generator. I threw everything off. I took my window covers down and I just booked it to town and drove as far away from that side of town as possible. I think that I need to rest and go to bed, and I will revisit this tomorrow. Okay, here's my reassessment. Fuck that guy, dude. The more I thought about it, the creepier he got. Like, serious Ted Bundy vibes. Serious Ted Bundy vibes if Ted Bundy was not charming and bad at lying. John Wayne Gacy vibes. John Wayne Gacy vibes if he was into young women and not little boys. The fact that he said he offers people water, but he had no water with him. And then the fact that when he came back, he said that someone was watching me. And then I asked, did you catch him watching me or did he tell you he was watching me? And he said, well, when I drove up to him, he had his viewfinder out. And then kept telling me, you need to get a good description of that truck. Look at that truck. He was like, that guy claims that he gives water to people who need it, but I don't think so. How could you tell if somebody needs water just by looking at their camp? Sir, are you not doing the exact same thing? What sealed the deal for me is the way that he was staring at me at the end. He also kept trying to get me to park on the other side of the hill, which is a lot more open. Personally, I think that he was going to try something and frame.
She doesn't wait to see if the man on the hill is real. She throws her solar panels and generator into the van, rips down her window covers, and books it toward the city. YouTuber Tanella and Carissa from the wild between us roll into the remote crown lands of Manitoba. Carissa reverses the van 4 kilometers into the wilderness, parking deep in a secluded forest by the water.
Further, and just so you guys know, we switched places because I drove us halfway down a road that was not possible to stay at, and then Carissa is like the queen of driving, so she drove backwards basically the whole way, like 4 kilometers. So now we're gonna park here. I think that's good. I'm just gonna try to find the level and then we're good. And the puppies can go play. You wait, almost.
peace is short-lived. A massive army of darkness, thousands of mosquitoes, descends on the camp, forcing the couple and their 2 dogs to retreat inside the van.
Yeah, because all of a sudden the mosquitoes were bad, so we've been eating a lot. So everyone is in here, and we're gonna give some figures to the dogs so we can happily and quietly eat our food. And someone is very excited. Do you want a pig ear? He's so happy. Here, take it. Eat your treats. Eat your treats. Mama's downstairs. So we got to our spot. We're in Manitoba, which we're super excited about. It's very sunny here and beautiful, and yeah, bugs are crazy at night, but crazy, like army of darkness coming for your soul. But when we got here, they weren't bad.
Tanella walks the dogs alone the next morning. She carries bear spray and a machete, knowing that in the deep woods, help is hours away.
Off we go on a windy walk. Krista usually does her work in the morning, so I'm gonna take the puppies for their morning walk before it gets too hot for them and explore a tiny bit. I got my bear spray, got a machete and a couple other things.
They set up a portable USB shower and enjoy a moment of tranquility. They feel clean and safe, unaware that a stranger is watching them from the road.
Or outside. And and the pressure is actually really good on it. It's super duper good. Yeah. So we're gonna fetch our stuff, deal with this situation. My hair is worse than hers. That's why I'm not showing you guys. Okay, let's get our bucket and our water. Water helps.
A truck begins circling their site, driving back and forth before turning down their private path. Tanella's dog Cleo senses the danger and snaps her cable leash in a snarl.
And forth. He drove by, and then I saw him back up, and then he drove away, and then he did the same thing, backed up, slowly drove by, and I was like, oh dear. And then he did it again, rolled down his window. I don't know if he yelled something or waved.
He was yelling and waving, which got my attention.
I think I said to you, like this isn't a good situation. You know, you can just kind of feel those things. So after that, he then drove away and came back again, but this time he drove down our road, which you've seen, we're kind of down that path. And he stopped a little ways away from the van, and I had both the dogs actually with me. They don't like when strangers come to the van, and they especially don't like when they can feel there's something wrong or there's bad energy or whatever.
Always trust your dogs.
So Cleo was losing her mind. She actually broke her leash.
It was a cable.
Yeah, she broke her cable, snarling and barking her head off. And Coda, who is not really a big barker, like he's a husky, but he was barking and doing his bear growl, and I was like barely holding them back, and the guy was coming closer talking to me, and I said, can you please stay back? The dogs are not friendly. And he keeps coming closer, even though I said that. I said, stay back, the dogs are not friendly.
They wait for dawn, clutching their protection. In the morning, they find the van windows plastered with dead bugs and flee toward the Saskatchewan border.
I killed so many mosquitoes with mosquito spray. Want to see? This is only a fraction of the mosquitoes.
One viewer was so terrified she commented, you should report the creepy guy to the police. It sounds like he was looking for trouble. YouTuber Lissa from the Regretless channel is navigating the rough stretches of Northwest Texas. She's alone in her converted bus looking for a safe place to stop for the night.
Okay,
So we've arrived, not typically where I like to park. We're just behind this business here. They have a little grassy spot. We're kind of in the middle of this downtown, small town-ish. It's kind of big. But we're at a Harvest Host, and it's right across the street from a laundromat. It was right down the street from a Planet Fitness and groceries. So I thought this is the spot to just park for the night.
She pulls into a Harvest Host spot behind a small town business. It's urban, loud, and directly behind a local bar.
Go walk around the block to check out the laundromat, and I'm already getting catcalled. It's so frustrating, especially now. The way I'm traveling, it's just like, makes me feel uneasy. I just hate cities, urban areas. And I now, Rio, come on.
While walking her dog, Rio, a stranger begins catcalling her. The situation escalates instantly when the man starts following her back toward the bus.
Pause right there. What is not shown is my small mental breakdown. I was so angry that some man had the audacity to follow me and infringe upon my boundaries. I was angry that as a solo woman, I don't have the same right to safety as when I traveled with a man. I cried out of pure frustration. I looked around the area to find other camping. The only other options had sketchy reviews by fellow nomads. All I wanted to do was get the hell out of there. But I knew the best thing was to draw as little attention to me as possible and just lay low. So I sent my coordinates to a close friend so they knew where I was, locked myself in, and tried to...
She loses him by circling the block, but the damage is done. Back inside, Lissa breaks down in tears, realizing her safety is a fragile thing.
It sucks to not feel super safe and secure where you're parked, but that's the reality of bus life, and God forbid anything happens. I'm confident in my ability to react to things, but I think really I just need to hunker down, cut my losses, and then get out of here first thing in the morning and hopefully find somewhere much more beautiful and relaxing. You know, it's always good to listen to your intuition, and it just sucks when it's been like the alarm has been rung of like, maybe this isn't such a great spot.
Night falls, and the noise from the bar looms outside. Rio spends the night growling at the shadows, acting as the only line of defense in the high-crime area.
Up in a dark, sketchy place to driving through the peaceful countryside. It feels good knowing I'm closer to where I need to be. We made it to this adorable little winery. Rio has this whole yard to run around in by herself. I think I'm the only one here, so I'm gonna go get a glass of wine, eat something, and just exit.
Lissa flees at dawn, driving until the city is a memory. She finds sanctuary at a quiet winery, where the lit-up vines look like a galaxy in the dark.
So, we made it to Louisiana. I've learned that if I don't give myself the time to be, oftentimes I'll have wounds that go unresolved. And I don't want those wounds to become traumas in my future or lessons unlearned. It can be uncomfortable. Like, even now, like, I'm creating space and emotions are coming up and I don't even really know why, but it's so important to let it out, let it flow. This is the work. And it feels so good afterwards if you can sit in this space long enough to where your spirit can truly breathe and you can evolve, or you can receive the messages, the lessons from whatever you're going through. I love you guys. I hope you take...
In the rain of Louisiana, the weight of the journey finally hits her. She stops running from the fear and allows herself to heal in the silence of the road. YouTuber Casey Johnston and her cat Olive are parked in a quiet dirt pull-off in southern Utah. At 7:00 a.m., the morning silence is broken by a black car creeping past at half the speed limit.
Footage for the vlog, and I noticed at about 7 a.m. a black car went past us very slowly on the main road here. The speed limit is 40 miles an hour, and this car was going maybe 15 to 20 miles an hour, which struck me as odd, but they kept driving, so I really didn't think much of it.
The car returns 5 minutes later, pulling into the lot and circling directly behind Casey's van. Two men inside watch her through the glass as they pull alongside her door.
And I was close enough to the car at this point that I could see there were two men in it. One was driving and one was in the passenger seat. And they actually went up a little road that was behind the lot that we were parked in. And they got to the end of the road, turned right back around, and then very slowly started coming back down the road towards the van. So this whole time I'm sat up here in the cab area very discreetly, trying to watch what they're doing out this driver's side window.
They blast their horn, demanding her attention. Casey retreats to the back of the van to reach for her safety items, losing sight of the men but hearing their every move.
Up right along the driver's side of the van, and they actually honked their horn at us, which of course I ignored. And after I didn't respond to their honk, one of them got out of the car and came up and started knocking on my driver's side window.
One man steps out and begins pounding on her driver's side window. Casey remains frozen and silent, refusing to acknowledge the strangers until they finally drive away.
And have them follow me. So I was looking up on my phone options for places to go, and I kid you not, 30 to 45 minutes later, the same car comes back down the road and pulls off on a street just up the road from us.
She prepares to flee, but realizes she is trapped. The same car is now stationary just up the road, positioned perfectly to watch her exit.
We had a successful trip to the post office. I picked up both packages I was waiting on, and then we came here to Love's, which, to be fair, was the closest option, and I was tired of driving, but I never hate a truck stop stay, and weirdly enough, they always feel really safe. So
Casey abandons the town entirely, driving 2 hours to find a crowded Love's truck stop. Under the humming neon lights and the presence of other travelers, she finally feels the grip of fear release.